Hello, Internet, and welcome to the pursuit of the Black Kestrel. We are here to play a game. You can probably tell by looking at the tags here on Twitch. Our former Pathfinder game has grown up and evolved into a Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition campaign. Um, there are a lot of reasons why. Just going to address them right at the beginning here. We got real confused with Pathfinder, I think, and I got real confused. Didn't have a lot of time to learn it. And we decided to go back to 5e because that's something we're familiar with. And all these fools leveled up as a result. And we're going to be playing Dungeons and Dragons. I'm going to hit our announcements real quick. And then I'm going to let these fools introduce themselves. And then we're going to get started. So, this week on GGK, we've got lots of fun stuff coming up. We've got a stream almost every day this week. We have today this game. Tomorrow we have a one shot. It'll be Carbon Banner, the mech fighting RPG that I wrote. We did a one shot last week on it. Savannah's gonna be running one this time. And I'm gonna be sitting in the player seat, hands off, get to experience it from the other side of the table. So that's gonna be awesome. I think Savannah, you're gonna do maybe do a stream, doing your session prep or something tomorrow.
Yeah,
right?
so the one shot's gonna start at 7, but before that, a little bit before that, I'm going to stream going in totally without knowing anything, how to prep one of these and see if I do a good or a bad job. So that should be fun for everyone else to watch and experience.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna do a little bit of a prep stream beforehand, so coming out.
Yeah. So check out our Twitter and Discord and all that stuff for announcements when we're doing that. Tuesday we'll have Eos, another 5e campaign. Wednesday we'll have another one shot. It's going to be Dungeons and Destiny, which is like a D&D port for the Destiny video game made by Bungie. If you're not familiar with it, makers of Halo. I don't know what else to describe it as. You probably know what I'm talking about. But yeah, they're going to be doing a one shot on Wednesday at 6 o'clock. Morgan's gonna be running it, so that should be awesome. Morgan has run a game on this channel for a long time, and the last time she did it was pretty cool. Then on Nothing Thursday and Friday, and then we'll be back for Saturday night's Thunderball on Saturday. And that's it as far as our normal programming, all that below. So I'm gonna let these people introduce themselves, talk about what they have going on that I haven't already covered. Savannah.
I hate going first so much because you always catch me right when I'm in the middle of clicking on something very important. Hi, I'm Savannah. I'm Savvy at Savvy Seaworth on Twitter and everything else. I mostly exist on this channel right now. Sean has said everything I'm doing this week, but yeah, coming out with me tomorrow. I'm gonna tweet about when I'm doing the prep stream. Hopefully it won't just be like an hour before the one shot, but you guys have seen me run games, so it probably will be. But it's gonna be really fun. And then I'm playing in some of the other stuff this week, so yeah. I'm here. Get over it.
Alex.
Hello, I'm Alex, OMG It's Some Guy. Much like Savvy, I'm pretty much here on GGK, also playing in 2/3 of the things we announced for this upcoming week.
You'll be on the one shot on Wednesday.
In
right?
the Destiny one, yeah.
Yeah. Barry. You're muted.
I'm muted.
Niggle in
I'm
the
Derek
switch.
Barry, and yeah, I'm pretty much here most times. Well, it's early. Find
Or
me on
late.
Twitter. Can't find me on Twitch at the moment as it needs authentication and I don't have my phone, so
Okay. Just a hot mess, this group.
Yeah.
RJ.
Hey everybody, I'm RJ on the interwebs, but you can catch me at rjustice282 on Twitter and Twitch, where I stream sometimes with people. It's been a lot of Fortnite recently, and yeah, we've been hitting #1 spot. So hey, that's cool. You can catch myself and LB tonight at 10 p.m., where we'll be over at the Indoor Adventures channel playing our Gunpowder Fantasy 1920s noir version of Tomb of Annihilation. and also tomorrow, where we play in the homebrew campaign, also on the Indoor Adventures channel. Other than that, I'll be streaming all week.
And last but not least, LB.
Hi, I'm LB Hackemup. You can find me at LB Hackemup on Twitter. You can also find me all those places that RJ just said. Wednesdays, I'm on Nerd Immersion's channel doing a D&D Rod of Seven Parts game with Jordan with a PH. And on Thursdays, I've started playing games with my girlfriend, Lauren. This week, we started Doki Doki Literature Club, and she's never played it before. She's a little into, like, she kind of knows that it's not what it seems, but we're not there yet. So I think that that'll be fun. And then, yeah, Sunday, we're doing our Monster of the Week game next week. So that's going to be so fun.
Yeah. That's it for what we got going on. Like I said, check out our schedule below here on Twitch, and join us on Discord, where we do most of our talking about things that we're doing. Okay, so back to the game. Last time on The Pursuit of the Black Kestrel, your merry band of treasure seekers, entrepreneurs, adventurers have completed a task for a group of criminals in this Port Predatus, this smuggler's haven. You have eliminated this bugbear threat by inciting a revolution, and claimed your reward from the spiders. Information on the location of the Black Kestrel, the flagship of the pirate captain Crimson Drake, and the last holder of the Heart of Death, a priceless artifact. You retrieved your spoils from the spiders, and a little bit extra, as Anais completed her heist that she had started a few weeks prior, a few hours prior in the game time, and broke into the cellar of this manor house that these spiders have been using as their lair. You found a lot of blackmail, mostly of interest to you, some blackmail of that these spiders were holding on Duke Whitney and his son, the fiance of your current crewmate Zari. And you also learned that these spiders seem to be holding a number of Kavar eggs within their basement. You didn't get the exact nature of what they were doing with them, but they had a lot of cages with these creatures in them. Looked like they were using them for some purpose, but you escaped knowing that you had limited time, met up with your friends, gave them this information. You also learned that the city was under siege, that these Kavar attacks were growing more and more frequent. You encountered a couple of them yourselves, a couple of you being brought very close to the brink of death in fighting these large insect-like creatures. And the city itself seems to be besieged by them. You don't really know the source. You hypothesized on that a bit, but wanting a chance to rest and recuperate before dealing with whatever these spiders are doing to disrupt the balance of this ecosystem, you headed back to the Pharos, the ship that you came in on. And that is where we are picking up our session here today. You have skulked your way. I need to change the music here a little bit. This is too peppy for my purposes. You have skulked your way through the city. We'll stick with that for a second. Avoiding the Kavar that have been being fended off by the guards. It looks like the attacks are being mostly kept to the outskirts of the town. You're winding your way up the switchback path from Law's Grave up to the higher reaches with some of the taverns that you've been to, and like the Lord's Daughter where you stayed the night before. You avoid any additional conflict along the way. as long as you keep to the safer roads, as long as none of you are deviating to get a glimpse of what's going on. Just let me know. And eventually, you arrive at the docks, at the highest peak of the highest tier of Port Predatus, far above the rolling fog seas below. And there, moored at the at these docks, is the Black Kestrel. Currently, sort of decommissioned. The balloon is like de-inflated, sort of like at a half mast. I don't know the exact word you would use for a big balloon that holds a ship aloft, but it's resting on these like perches that extend out from the dock itself while you are currently in harbor. As you board the vessel, Captain Leon, fiery crimson hair, alight in this setting sun, sees you approaching and comes down to meet you on the main deck of the ship. And she says, "You all look a little bit worse for wear. Don't suppose you got into too many scrapes along the way? Especially like looking over, I think, sorry, we're probably looking the worst. Some of you got some acid splashes, got slashed up a bit. Xander, I think you also went.
I died.
Yeah, you died. So you
I'm
you
fine.
also don't look very good. And she, looking over the two nobles, I guess, says, "Looks like you maybe had a bit of a hard go of it."
It was fine. She just pushes past.
Casual
Oh.
Tuesday.
All right. So did you meet up with the spiders, get the information that we need? Can we get out of this town?
Yes, no.
Well, those of you that are in higher spirits and want to actually talk about it, come to my cabin and tell me what you found. She begins to head back towards her cabin. Who's going with her?
I will.
All right. Xander and Zari.
My egg somewhere.
Okay. Go find a nice warm spot to incubate your harpy eggs.
Zara's gonna go change her clothing and prestidigitate her entire being from top to bottom, and then she will go join them.
Okay. So you all head into the captain's cabin, and do you begin to get her caught up on the things that are happening? Is there anything you're leaving out, or are you just giving her a play-by-play?
Well, I was gonna say before, since the three of us are going before we go in, I was just gonna ask if we were like keeping all the basement stuff on the DL.
I mean, that's entirely up to you.
I
kidding.
imagine the noble siblings will want to make a case for why they want to stick around, so we may want to let Captain know that more or less what we found. Do we have I'm trying to figure out a good way to ask this. Do we get the sense that if we told Captain Leon, that they are breeding bugs down there, and that also they have blackmail, that Captain would just be like, okay, that's not our problem, let's GTFO?
That's what I'm
Or would
afraid
they
of.
want to?
They might have blackmail material on her. Oh.
Yeah, so I mean, I'd say you don't know exactly without bringing it up what her reaction would be, but you do know that the arrangements of Duke Whitney, his son, and your companion Zari are the people that have sort of arranged this. As long as the fucking nobles want to stay, they're kind of obliged to stay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think in that case we do tell her at least about the blackmail, maybe not about that they're breeding bugs.
Okay.
Just
so
in
you
a
get to the
vague
part-
sense of like, boy, they've got a lot of info on a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
So you go through the arrangements you made with the spiders and infiltrating and making the deal with them, and then the bugbears. I think around the time where you're getting into like the blackmail and all that is when Zari gets back in, changed and clean. Xander, if you come back after the egg, or are you just staying out with the egg too?
After I found a place for the eggs, I'd probably be making sure I'm kitted up to go back out there and kick in some doors and just get all my shit.
Okay, so you're just
That is getting
yourself
ready
ready.
to go Rambo.
One second. There are like cats spawning in this room. I have no idea where they're coming from, but they keep wanting to get out.
I got a kitten, but he's just napping.
I wish
Just
ours would
standing
learn
up.
how to do that.
One like comes out of the closet.
My
Make
familiars.
sure you're supportive.
Yeah.
My
The
children, we love you.
you get to the point with the blackmail, and then as you finish up your story, I think Captain Leon is just sitting behind her desk, leaning back in her chair. Has mostly just been like mouth covered, like kind of like contemplative the entire time. And then you stop, and she just lets out a big sigh and says, "All right then. It's a bit more complicated than I was initially led to believe this might be. So we're staying because why?
Because you've been asked to.
Fair enough then. I'll say one thing on that note. You've been paying me rather handsomely for escorting you on this, and as long as the payment's coming, I'm obligated to do what your ladyship is asking. However, if I feel that there's a threat to my crew or my ship, I will leave.
Yes,
I know that won't do a lot for my reputation, but I have priorities as well.
Well, I understand that, but I can assume that we will not be staying. What time of day is it?
It's getting into the like evening at this point, later evening.
Yeah. At least we'll be on our way by tomorrow evening.
Tomorrow sounds perfect. From what I've heard from the guards around the port here, seems that they're having a bit of a swarm problem. We can handle it. Most of the ones that make it up this far are small, and the crew can take care of it. So you all can rest peacefully here. But yes, I would very much like to be gone by tomorrow, especially now that we have our next set of coordinates, the Diamante Archipelago. So we'll be heading that way as soon as possible.
Wonderful.
I know it's your ship, not really my area of expertise, but we're getting into dangerous territory here, so perhaps be prepared to leave as soon as possible tomorrow.
Right.
Dangerous
I'll take that
skies and all that.
under advisement. Yes. I'd like to get out as soon as possible anyway, because I did receive a bit of news around the harbor as well that seems like we might have some competition for this expedition.
Sorry?
Are you familiar with a Lord Hendros Silks?
Am I?
I think you would be.
I assume so.
Yeah, is a rival. He is a rival lord to Duke Whitney.
Sorry, what was his name?
Lord Hendra, Hendraugh, Silks, Sylks, because fantasy.
I know, right?
He gave himself that name once he got rich, didn't he?
Probably. His name was Henry. First.
Yeah.
Henry Cotton.
You heard of this? Are they in port, or are they already on their way?
They were in port recently. They left actually about 2 days ago, supposedly. So I don't know. With the skies around here, they could be nearby, keeping an eye on us. I wouldn't be surprised if they got here to drop off some spies in port to see where we were going and where our heading was. I'm not telling anybody off this ship where our next coordinates are.
Samek raises his hand to the captain. By the way, Captain, Ayan is here.
Does she know about Anne?
She would. There would have been some meetings between Samek and Ayan.
Okay. She goes, "Hi, shite.
You think she's working for Silk?
I wouldn't bet against it. You saw it when you see her?
Last night.
Yeah. Even more important that we leave as soon as possible now, because I'm sure that she's going to get her news to anything that she's heard while here. If she is being employed by Silks, then it won't be long till he finds out. You didn't tell her anything, right?
Not a word.
Perfect. Good man. All right. Anything else I need to know?
I'm
Nope.
taking this bottle of whiskey.
Fair. All right. So you guys settle in for the evening.
Please sleep.
You get such a good rest that
Recommended
you
bed rest.
such good sleep that you change games. Actually, I have a couple of things that
I'm level
happened
8
tonight.
now.
What?
You find a note under your pillow with a red handprint that says "We know."
Ah. Just kidding. Anais would probably be like, yes, finally.
Zari,
Yes.
anything you do before sleep?
I'll do my normal nightly routine,
Mhm.
lotions, blood sacrifice.
You do know your normal offering as
Yeah.
you head to bed, and
I'll do the blood bear blood that I gather.
Bugbear blood.
say that 5 times fast.
Bugbear blood.
Okay, so you take the vial of
Mhm.
the bugbear blood, and you pour it into your ritual chalice.
Mhm.
And as you're sitting there in this little bit of privacy that you have with the curtains drawn around you, you notice that the candlelight that from the lanterns hanging outside in this main galley area that the rest of the crew sleeps out, they open, you in your private space, begin to dim and then go out until everything around is just darkness except for the small candle that you have lit at your feet. And then that too, you see the firelight actually grows a shade of gray and then transitions into black as darkness swells around you. As the darkness takes you, a flowing, shifting darkness enveloping the world and yourself in this suffocating embrace. The shadow feels as part of you and separate, empowering and binding at the same time. Then, a voice rises from beyond the darkness, from someone seemingly standing just out of reach, part of and beyond the darkness itself. My child, you have performed well in your tasks. It has been amusing to see you rise to this trial. Are you prepared for what must come next?
I am always prepared to serve you.
Then there are matters we must discuss. Obstacles that must be removed. The thief and the blasphemer. Not to mention that buffoon of a brother you have.
Yes, well, they serve their purpose. And what do you ask of me?
We must determine how they are to be brought into the fold before our prize is won, or how they may be removed from the situation.
I see.
This captain as well. She also concerns me. She is not what she appears. and her true nature seems warded by my vision.
Ah, how tricksy. Do you have any inclinations of what she might be?
None that have risen to my attention thus far. However, she hides a secret which endangers your mission. This journal you inquired into, I believe that may hold the key. Her evasiveness on the matter perplexes me.
Wonderful. Thank you.
But first, and perhaps more pressing, the stain that threatens to spread along the weave of my machinations remains. We must purge the threat of the spiders posed to the Valander name through fire and blood.
Of course.
As you say that, a hand coalesces from the shadows and caresses the side of your face. And the voice continues, "Yet, I do not wish to see you throw yourself into the maws of danger. If you permit, my sweet child, allow me to take this task for you."
Well, if you desire to do so, I will not stand in your way.
As you assent, there is this feeling of the darkness pressing in. And you feel as the shadows pull around you, you feel yourself pulled into their arms, and everything goes black.
Cool.
Simon, you also fall into a weighty sleep, feeling the comfortable warmth of a belly full of drink. As you drift into rest, that warmth reaches your dreams, and you find yourself engulfed in a brilliant and familiar light. And then the light breaks, and you find your body soaring over an endless expanse of the rolling sea of fog beneath you. You gradually descend down towards the spires of a distant cliff. A valley stretches out beneath you, a bowl filled with shards of brilliant white fragments of ivory stone protruding up from the rock. You turn towards the west and fall deep, deep down into the fracture in the earth. Before the fog consumes you, you stop. Before you, an opening in the rock, darkness beyond. But just there, barely visible, a glint. A mesmerizing stone from which the darkness seems to pour forth. You reach out, but before you can take the stone for yourself, the darkness lashes toward you, engulfing you in black fire. And your dream ends. You all receive a full night's sleep. However, you are awoken abruptly in the early morning before you can see the shafts of sunlight peeking in from the slats of the hull of the Pharos. And you hear a number of footsteps on the deck above, and you watch as the crew around you is being pulled from their beds, and a few of the crew members come up to those of you who are sleeping out in the open and say, "Come on, there's something happening in the city."
I'm up.
Okay. All of you except for Zari. You all awake and rush out onto the deck of the ship. As you stare out over the city in front of you, it's quiet. You see the attacks the night before appear to have stopped. Actually, you don't even see a single insect in the sky around you. It is completely still. The only thing breaking this is a glow of light. But instead of coming from the eastern horizon, where you expect the sun to rise, it comes from below. You see that Law's Grave, the lowest tier of the city, is engulfed in crimson flame. You watch as hundreds of feet beneath you, the manor house that the spiders dwell within crumbles into ash and dust within this inferno.
That
Huh.
solves that.
Well, shit.
Simon takes one of his flasks and pours a little bit out over the side of the ship.
Zari, you awake in your quarters. And look down in your, I don't know what Zari sleeps in, your shift or whatever
Yep.
you were sleeping in the night before. And it is stained black with soot and ash. And your arms are encrusted, caked black with dried blood.
I
You
start
do have the
prestidigitating myself.
Okay. Yeah.
It'll take a few minutes, I'm sure, and then
Mhm.
I'll emerge back up. What is it? What's happened?
Well, there goes our spider infestation.
Oh no.
I'm inside of that.
Yeah.
Are
Pretty
you gonna answer that?
yeah, you guys.
Hold on, making my dice out.
Did not
Oh,
roll
it's
well.
only an 11.
Also only got an 11.
Wait, me too. I want to play.
Wait, me too.
Let's all play. Let's all play.
Oh no!
I rolled
Oh
a
no,
3 and got an
eyebrow.
4. Tell me everything.
I rolled a 24.
Jesus.
Okay. So Matt,
Just
can I
kidding,
play
he's
this
not
game?
here.
or- Good.
I mean, I got a 16, but I don't care either way. So
I gather all I get is
I'm
the
tired.
I know was like, I don't really care. It's
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, she took the time to get
Yeah.
dressed before coming up here. Everybody
Yeah,
else
that's
is like,
her hair's done up a little bit.
Yeah, and I was like, who cares? They're bad guys.
yeah. The rest of the crew is just running around the ship naked right now.
Oh God.
They're
I guess.
sailors. They don't sleep in clothes.
I
Roll
pull
your
out a
eyes,
fan. Just
I guess.
like
Roll your eyes all
Boxers.
you want, but there's all of your evidence of what was going wrong up in smoke.
except for what you've brought.
Which is nothing on us.
Exactly. It's what I need. Right? It is on the Duke and his son.
The sun, specifically.
Don't you want to know what they had on us?
I
I mean-
suppose if it's all burned up, it doesn't matter anymore.
Well, it kind of does.
That's it?
I mean,
What
what's-
debt
how
would they
did they
have on
get-
us?
You tell me, Miss Blood Magic.
oh no, your family practices blood magic.
I mean, everyone who knows our family knows that, except for you, apparently.
What about who was giving the information?
True, someone would have to be punished.
Uh,
Well, there's
now
nothing we can
can't-
do about now. Breakfast? Bloody Marys? She motions to Simon.
The Captain Leon is also down the deck and has come out with this commotion. She, looking down at the city, just says, "Well, fuck me running." Well, does that deal with your problem then?
Seems
guess
to be the
it-
case.
Does.
All right. We'll start getting the ship up and get out of here before that fire spreads any further up the cliff face. As she turns around, you all hear a crack. And your attention shifts back towards the city. And you see running up the tallest spire, the cliff face, a massive fissure has opened along the side of it. And though you can't feel it where you're standing right now, as the ship is just slightly suspended in its current perch, you look down and you watch as a number of barrels on the dock sort of begin to shake, and one falls and rolls off into the fog below.
Captain, I think it might be prudent to move up our departure time a few hours.
She says, right, and as she turns, the top of the spire explodes, sending rock and shrapnel crashing down along the edges and along the structures of Port Predatus. And from the top, you see emerging a beast the size and scope of which you have never seen. A 20 to 30 foot tall Kavar, similar to the ones you fought in the streets below. This queen pulls herself from the wreckage, the top of this spire, and with a roar, a furious roar, cuts through the stillness of the ending night. And from that cliff face, from the top of the spire, you watch more smaller Kavar from this space, from this distance, that look like almost ants along this spire, pouring out like the top of an anthill, and down onto the streets below.
Well, that's a shame. Shall we
My
move
food
out?
cart! My food cart, where is it?
As Xander is yelling about his food cart, it's like the face zoom in from The Office on Samek. And he'll start getting to work, like doing the riggings, untying everything.
As you go to help with the riggings, I think Captain Leon is just watching and seeing the swarm of Kavar heading towards the ship, and she says, Samek, I think you should probably help with the keeping them at bay. You start getting things ready here. And they're beginning to run around the ship, getting it ready to disembark. However, it is going to take a little bit of time for the bladders to inflate, for the ship to be able to move. So, as the swarms descend upon you, I would like you all to roll initiative.
How do the ladders work, by the way? How does this, like, is it a heat thing or is it a magic
Yeah,
thing?
it's pretty much the picture that you're looking at, but it is a that's on roll 20. But it is, yeah, it's essentially, think of like a 18th century like pirate ship or sailing vessel.
Yeah.
That is suspended by a large bladder. It has these pipes running up to it. The crew underneath stokes large like furnaces below deck, which feeds heat and flame up to the bladders to inflate them like a hot air balloon. But no, not magic, more of actual like physical heat source. All right. Well, you guys roll initiative, and I'm going to throw some things down on the map. So here are the babies.
So
Look at them,
many
they're
of
so
us
cute.
tied for
So
initiative.
Yeah.
I was about to say we're about to have a dex off.
Jeez.
both of our decks,
The
is
deck's
20.
off.
My speed's higher than yours, but
Are those just Zerg Hydralisks?
No, I think those are Ankegs.
They are ant kegs.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, fuck that.
Nerds.
Look at the big ass one in the back.
I hate it.
Safe to assume that the fire and the destruction of a bunch of eggs may have pissed off whatever this is.
Mm,
Who knows, bro?
Probably.
Freak accidents
what the
happen
fuck?
all the time.
Listen, you
Oh,
leave the
no.
walk-on with too much oil at too high of a heat. It's ladder.
Oh,
But
that
sometimes you just
initiative.
want bacon and beans in the middle of the night.
Dang it, I really
Okay.
wanted to go back and take all his papers.
Yeah.
Oh well.
I was about to say I wanted to read them first because I don't trust my sister.
Oh, beans.
I didn't happen to see anything extra in my bunk, did I? When I woke up this morning?
When you woke up, not yet. I don't think you really had enough time to like inspect yet.
Not yet. I like that.
See how this fight goes. So right now, the queen is much further away. Currently, like storming her way through the city, breaking through buildings, munching on some guards along the way. So it's going to be a little bit until she is like up on you, but she's moving in the direction of the port because that is where like the city kind of feeds down towards. You probably have a round or two until she gets here. However, the smaller MKEGs, the Kavar, are more faster, kind of swarming through the city, and this initial burst, this first wave hits you as these 5 in the front are right up on you. So we had some initiative rolls. We had a tie between Anais and Xander. Do you guys both have a 20? Yeah. You guys both have the same movement speed, so I'll let you guys decide.
Wrong.
Oh,
My speed's 35.
35? Oh, okay. So Anais is first.
What else?
Unless Xander has a speed boost that I didn't know about.
I have an arrow. I could probably shoot her. Shoot her in the foot.
You can. I mean,
You're not going anywhere.
have.
Okay, and the rest of the ties were.
I clicked the tiebreaker
7.
thing on my initiative, so it'll do that moving forward because I keep forgetting.
Same.
Oh, gotcha. So, Zari, what's your dexterity?
My dexterity is a 12.
Is that? I assume that's lower than Simon and Samek, or is that higher?
Lower.
Lower.
Lower than me.
Okay. So I'll put you there. Perfect. That will put us at the top of the round with the queen.
You hate to see it.
Who just pushes through the city, smashing buildings along the way. You see her pick up a guard in these massive pincers, and then just chops him in half. I mean, you just bisected straight down the middle. You see the 2 halves of his body go flying out in opposite directions. She lets out a massive piercing screech, but not close enough to be any threat to you guys right now. Anais.
Are there any small ones?
Yes, the small ones are.
Nearby.
These 5 are like crawling up the side of your ship, kind
Gross.
of trying to make their way on board.
I would like to attack one of them.
Okay,
Can I get it with swords?
sure.
Can I get sword range? Great. So I'm gonna attack with my lapia.
Okay, you go running up to the side of the ship and then go to stab down with your rapier at one of the heads of these
17?
creatures. I think that hits. Yes, that hits.
I think maybe I get sneak attack on it.
Yes, you do
Because
you are
it's
a
just me and it.
swashbuckler. Yeah.
Great, that is gonna be 3d6. I don't know how these classes work. That's 22 piercing damage.
Oof.
Hey,
All right.
rogues are cool.
It is still up, but you just stab down with the rapier, and it fits neatly between some of the segments of its carapace, and the creature lets out a shriek of pain as it almost falls off the side of the ship, but maintains its grip and continues to try to run up. Anything else?
Yeah, joke's on it. I have a second sword.
Okay. make your
Can I use my
second
bonus
attack.
action to do an offhand attack? And that one is a 25.
Also hits.
Nope, it's just the one. It's another 8.
8. Okay. All right. It's looking very bad. That's this one on the left here, because you guys can't see the health bars. I'm realizing. All right.
God, I love knowing how to
Anais,
play the game we're playing.
Are you staying there? Are you running back? Are you staying?
I would love to back up away from the
Okay.
edge where I'm not within its striking distance if I can. The rest of my
You
movement.
back away from it. All right. Xander, what you got, buddy?
So they're crawling up the sides of the ship.
Mm-hmm.
Are we still kind of docked?
Yes.
So I can still reach land if needed because.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, there's like a, yeah, there's a drop beneath you, but there are some planks of the dock itself that extend out under the ship that's kind of like holding it in place while the balloons are filling. So yeah, there would be something to catch on to if you started to fall.
I want to use my bow and it's kind of awkward if they're crawling up the side. So.
You wanted to like jump off the ship and shoot at them from the side?
Easily see them all lined up.
Yeah, you could do that. You essentially just jump down onto the docks. Yeah.
Cool. I'll do that, and then my first attack, I will shoot at the one that's bleeding.
Okay. Finish off the one that Anthony's.
We'll just go a normal attack for that one.
Okay.
I rolled a 2, so that's a 12.
That misses. It doinks
And
off your
we'll
armor.
attack that one again.
Okay.
Okay, that's a dirty 20.
That hits.
11 piercing damage.
That's enough to finish it. The first arrow, as you leap off onto the docks, kind of like rolling and then coming to a stop, you extend and fire the first arrow at the creature. It glances off the carapace and you adjust, aiming for one of the gaps in its armor plating. It sinks in and the creature disconnects from the side of the ship and then goes tumbling down, smashing onto the dock and then falling into darkness below. Perfect. Xander, that's it for you.
Is me done.
Okay, Simon.
Simon is going to see that the bugs are climbing up. I feel like we've said it before, but about how long is the ship?
60 or 70 feet.
Okay. So it's not gonna actually cover a ton of space, but I am going to I'm gonna cast Guardian of Faith and put that kind of on the side, like at the railing where the bugs are climbing up. So I will click on that, and for me, it basically looks like a dude holding a rapier in one hand and a drink in the other, and he's kind of swaying and taking drinks, but
all right,
that's what he
summon spiritual party bro.
Yep.
To bouncer this ship. Okay. And that's within 10 feet. Okay. So yeah, on their turn, they're gonna move up into that. So we'll deal with it when I get to the enemy's turn.
Yep.
All right.
I can really do anything for a bonus action, so I will just get out there myself with rapier and shield at the ready.
Okay. Sorry.
Zari's going to she's going to take her knife and slice on the backs of her forearms, and it starts to glow, and it starts to envelop her body in this red sort of ichor, and then it absorbs into her, and she's going to cast mage armor on herself.
Okay.
And then she's going to move back far away from things that are happening.
Okay. Yeah, you're behind the crew that's getting everything ready. Other side of the ship, you can see the.
But not near the edge.
Not near the edge. Okay.
Right.
Middle of the ship. Gotcha. And Samek.
Samek is watching all this carnage happen, and he inhales, trying to rage, but instead I'm blowing 2 key points to summon my astral arms.
Okay.
Fire from his arms wreath upward into his shoulders, and it looks like 2 flaming claws are settled there, and they detach off and start floating behind him. And he's going to run up to 1 and attack. I have 10 feet range on these bad boys.
Jeez. Okay. Yeah, you can get them.
First attack is a 16.
16 will hit.
Cool. I'm focusing it all in one, so I'll do hit first and damage.
Okay.
Second attack is 15 and 8, 23.
Yeah.
Dealing 3, 5, 8 and 10, 18 points of radiant damage.
Ooh, all right. 18 points of damage as you at these flaming. You said they're like claws.
Like there were
almost?
pauldrons of claws, and then they just detach
Yeah,
off.
deta-
And they just float.
All right.
Them.
These two claws just swipe down in unison, tearing a section of the armor off of the carapace off of these this insect beneath you, and this radiant energy sears through it, burning into the Kavar's hide. He doesn't sound happy, but you're 10 feet away, so you're not within immediate retribution.
No, that's later. Okay, cool.
So you stand there?
Yeah.
Okay. That will end your turn. So they begin to climb up the rest of the way onto the ship. However, before they reach it, Bouncer Bro does his thing. Is that a dexterity saving throw?
saves.
Okay.
DC is 16.
All right. I'm gonna say, what's the range on it? It's pretty
10
big.
feet. It's a large
Okay.
creature, and then within 10 feet of that.
Okay, that's right. Yeah, so it covers a good area. I'm gonna say 3 of them get caught up. The one that Samek hit, 2 of the others.
Okay.
And dex saves all around. 8, 14, 2.
So those all fail, so it does all 60 damage of its thing and vanishes.
Well, it did its job.
Yep.
One of them is so extremely low, the one that Samek hit, a stiff breeze might send it flying off of the ship. The other 2 also get hit as Party Bro just takes a big swig of his drink and then just swings outward, just poof, 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 hitting all 3 in one swipe with radiant energy that just explodes on impact, and then he disappears.
I was expecting
Awesome.
a little more mileage out of that, but that is good work.
All right, so the 4 are still remaining, so they finish their climb up. I think Samek, you're gonna get an attack against you with it's gonna try to bite you. That's a 14 to hit.
Does not hit.
All right. One of the other ones, because Simon, you also moved up. You said kind of to the edge. Okay. One of the other ones is going to try to bite you too. That is only a 9 to hit.
Misses.
Man, I missed those Pathfinder numbers.
It's a 34 to hit.
Yeah. And then the other 2 instead, kind of around one of them that was near the edge and hasn't been hit yet, and one that was hit by Spiritual Party Bro, get up onto the deck, and then almost in unison, they both make this, like, there's this rattling sensation that comes from deep within them, and then they both spew these cones of acid out towards a few of you. Actually, it's a line of acid, never mind. 30 feet long, 5 feet wide. So they're trying to get as many people as they can. So they're going for some of the crew, some of you as well. I'm actually going to have... Xander, you're on the dock, so it doesn't make sense. So yeah, Zari and Anais, since you guys pulled back. Not quite far enough, but dex saves from the 2 of you.
How rude.
Eight.
8.
11.
Jesus.
All right,
Okay.
so 8 and 11.
Yeah.
I rolled like shit.
All right, you both failed, and pretty well. Oh, that's not a number. That was there was a C in there. I don't know.
Oh,
why.
it's not 0 damage. It's not a number.
Minimum 1.
9 points of acid damage to the 2 of you. And do you have evasion? No.
Nope.
No. Okay, not yet. All right.
Not quite.
That will end their turn. Back to the start of the round. The queen continues to push closer. Also, what happens is kind of happens on the other creatures' turns. Some more begin to swarm in towards the ship. Xander, they are down there on the dock with you. So we will have those to contend with. I'm going to put this on the map. 2 more come running in along the dock. The queen is continuing her barrage through the city, or her tirade through the city, and has reached the outskirts of the dock. Actually comes like busting through one of the warehouses, sending wood and stone scattering out into the fog below. And she lets out another roar as these more of these Kavar continue to swarm in behind her. The crew is working on the ship. We're just going to deal with that on initiative count 20 as well. They've gotten the furnaces going, and you can see the bladders beginning to sort of heat up or inflate slightly, but it's going to take a little bit longer. That's it for her turn. Anise.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to... I guess I want to move forward back to where the ones that have made it onto the ship are and attack one of them.
Okay.
With the swords. So the rapier, that's a natural 20. Eat my lunch, bugs.
That'll hit. You've got... There are 4 on the ship right now. One is very badly off. Like I said, stiff wind. The other one, there are 2 of the others are, a little bit hurt. And one that's bad acid at you is like not even touched.
That one.
Okay.
Oh, it's such a good sound. 15. That's 32 piercing damage.
Zoinks.
Spit at me. See what happens.
32 points of damage as you come running up towards this one, kind of trying to dodge out of the way of acid. You get hit, and as it finishes, like rearing back from just the force of firing this acid spray, you are just in its face, and then you stab towards its like softer underbelly. And as the rapier hits, and you drag it, you just see this ichor beginning to flow out from it. It's still up, just like barely.
I like this shirt. I'm gonna try to stab it again with my short sword.
Okay.
That one's not as good. 14?
Hits.
Yes. Well, 6 piercing damage.
This one again, stiff wind. Still up though. All right, and you're in its face.
Well, boy, can I back off, or have I gone too far?
No, it would have had to be within 30 feet of you to get you with the acid, so you can duck back
Okay.
5 or 10 feet.
Yeah, I want to
get
duck
away.
back just a little bit as far as I can go, but maybe not directly towards where Zari is. So if it spits again,
Doesn't hit both.
it
of you.
has to. Yeah,
Okay.
you have to hit one of us.
All right, Xander, on the dock, you see 2 more of these creatures running towards you. Muted.
Okay, so it's safe to assume that there's 0 chance of saving this town. With
As
gigantic
you
mama
look
bug
over at
running.
it, yeah, and you see what's going on.
I got this. I got.
I'm pretty sure you think that their insurance policy is not going to cover it.
Okay, there's probably just going to be more bugs continuously coming till we get out of here. So
Yeah, they're still pouring out of the top, like.
okay,
thousands
so
of
I
them.
can't just put a stop to the ones getting to the ship.
Yeah.
I don't have that many arrows. Can I see all the ones on the ship?
From your vantage point, they have a little bit of cover because you jumped down. You're not like all the way below. They're about like 10 feet up from where you're at. So maybe like half cover, but you can see all 5 of them.
Okay,
4,
so
sorry.
I ignore all half and 3/4 cover because I'm amazing. Let's shoot the 2 weak ones.
Do it.
18.
Hits and it's dead. You don't. I'm not even gonna have you roll. They have one hit. It has 1 hit point.
Okay, I'll shoot the other one. 25.
Dead also had 1 hit point.
And I will action surge, and then I will aim at another one.
Okay.
And this time I will use sharpshooter. Should not have used sharpshooter.
Misses.
I can attack again, right? Okay,
Yes, you
my
can
second
if
attack.
you action surge.
Let's go sharpshooter again. 12.
Also misses.
I should not have used sharpshooter.
Well, it does hit if you had any sharpshooter, but
Oh yeah. Rip. And then I will sprint back towards the ship and try and get as far up there as I can because there's a gigantic bug running at me and I don't like it.
okay. Do you want to try climbing or do you want to try jumping?
It's me. I'm gonna try jumping.
You're gonna jump because that's all you do. Okay, Van Halen, go ahead and jump. Make an athletics check.
Acrobatics or athletics?
Athletics or jumping.
And thus the idiom "jump the Kavar" was made.
15. That's pretty good.
15, and then you the champion thing is like if you get like double your distance or something. I don't remember what it is exactly. You jump
Right.
real far.
I do get a bonus to my jumping.
I don't remember though. It's never comes up. I'm just trying to help you out.
Champion, remarkable athlete. When you make a running long jump, the distance you can cover increased by a number of feet equal to your strength modifier, so an extra 3 feet.
Okay. You
That can make the difference. Okay.
can make the difference. Yeah. So you jump towards the ship from the dock, and yeah, you got some good ups, and you catch on to the netting on the side of the ship. You don't quite make it up to the deck with just your jump distance, and with the rest of your movement, you're able to pull yourself on top of the deck. So versus just climbing, you do actually make it up onto the deck. If you had just climbed, I probably would have put you about like a couple feet below, so it helped to get up there a bit faster. But there are 2 Kavar just like right there in your face now.
Like so.
Hopefully they won't be for long.
Because I'm with
Simon.
you guys. Look, I came with you.
So there are 2 Kavar on deck right now.
Yes, there are 2 on deck.
How many in the hole?
I was gonna make a baseball joke. Yeah. I was trying to remember. It's been
Looks
so
like
long.
2 in
since
the
I-
hole, and then
Yeah, 2 in the hall.
the queen is. There isn't a phrase for after in the hole, really.
No. And then 1 on first.
Well, how close are the 2 on deck to each other?
Spitting distance.
Okay. Their spitting distance or like humanoid spitting distance?
What are you trying to hit him with?
I'm
and I'll tell
debating
you.
whether I do Spirit Guardians this turn or Spirit Weapon.
You could get him. I mean, you could get them both into Spirit Guardians.
Yeah, so I think I'm gonna pop that off this turn. Oh gosh, what does his Spirit Guardians look like? I think it's just lots of mugs flying around.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And there's like 1 corkscrew in the middle. It's just like
Yeah.
poof.
So I will go ahead and click it, but I will roll my actual damage. Oh, it didn't even do the damage. So pop that off, run into their faces, and so they need to make wisdom saves.
It's bringing back a lot of trauma on my end from Spirit Guardians. How many times has this spell hurt me?
Whacker.
Yeah, that's a 12 and a 7, so this is gonna
Those
hurt me a
both
lot.
fail.
Yeah.
So they are going to take 3d8 radiant damage. Let me get those d8s. Well, I rolled terribly. That is only 5 radiant damage.
Holy shit, you rolled real
I
terribly.
rolled a 1 and 2 2s.
All right.
And I don't think I have anything to bump those up. Yeah.
No. Well, it's something, and they're still up. They'll make another save at the start of their turn.
Yeah.
So
I guess
you get
they
another
are
bite at the
technically at
apple.
half speed right now.
Okay, I will take that under advisement. All right, so you're in the middle then with your guardian, the Spirit Guardian's active. Zari.
Are there other bugs like for flavor on the ship? Or
Yeah.
is it okay?
Yeah, sure.
Is there someone by me, one of the crew members perhaps fighting a bug near me?
I want to see where this is going, so sure.
Okay. Zari is going to, while he's distracted, just kind of go up to him and say, sorry, and slice him in the side. She's going to place her hand over it and kind of draw the blood out, and then she's going to point out towards the big mama. It's coming, and I'm gonna cast Fireball.
Yeah, I'd say she's within 120 feet. So poor Dale, just standing there. You just cut him for no reason.
Hey, there's
And,
a reason. It's too much blood for me to use, so like.
Okay.
Dang.
Yeah. You draw the blood out from him, creating this sphere of fire, hurl it in the direction of the mama. She's gonna roll a dex saving throw.
Yes.
That's a 16.
She matches.
Okay, so she succeeds to half damage, but
Mm-hmm. Okay. So she takes 15, 25, 34 damage. Well, she'd have half of 34.
okay, so 17.
Yeah. And then any other creatures that were within 20 feet. 20-foot sphere of fire just erupts.
Oh yeah, I guess 34 points damage. I'm gonna say there's probably a couple. I'm gonna roll just a general save for the ones that's an 8. So the as you aim the fireball towards her, are you worried at all about any guards or workers or anything like in the immediate area around it that you're trying to, or are you just trying to maximize the number of bugs that you're hitting?
I mean, I'll try to aim it high enough, but I think that maximizing the number of bugs for us personally is like the ideal.
Yeah.
It's really hard to aim a fireball, guys.
Yeah, it's far enough away that I don't think many of you notice the workers that are incinerated on the docks, but there are a few bugs that do get very badly burned, like on the brink. Actually, I'd say a whole like swath of them kind of like peel off and scatter away just from the fire. They don't seem to really like it. The queen though, as the flames lick up towards her, and she rears back in that moment and lets out another shriek. Her eyes just shift, and her whole head locks over in the direction that the fire emanated from, and she lets out another just terrible shriek in the direction of this, assuming like dragon ship or something that just shot fire at her. She's a bug. She's not that smart. That there's a lot of attention going on. You have her attention. That is going to end your turn. Anything else?
Whoops. Nope, that's it.
All right. Samek. You got 2 victims, bugs, on deck with you right now.
Samek sees the fireball shoot off and hit the queen. The queen turns. He exhales. I can't rage.
Everyone on deck of the ship just goes, fucking nobles, again at the exact same time.
For this one, flames shoot from around Samek's waist, and they look like folds. The folds fall off, and you can see 2 more claws. So he has a set of 4 astral claws floating around him.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm gonna attack one duder with 10-foot reach. That is a 16.
That hits.
I'm going to use my bonus action because instead of a flurry of blows, I can do that. Let's make another one for a natural 20.
Nice.
And then my extra attack for another 16.
Hits.
On one dude. I'm just going to try and eviscerate somebody. I need a calculator. That's plus another that's plus more for good luck. 40 points of radiant damage.
I'm sorry. Run that by me again.
40 points of radiant damage.
40 points of radiant damage. Okay. The splash damage. Were you just going for the one, or were you going for both at the same time?
It was just one.
I mean, the carryover is enough to take out both. I'm just gonna say you take
imagine
out both of them.
2 of the claws fly off, grab one, the other 2 grab another, and they just
smash each other in the air, yeah, and just bug guts all over the place. And those 2 are destroyed. Oof, that was really nasty. Okay, all the creatures on deck with you guys right now are destroyed. 2 more on the dock, and then Big Mama on her way. Anything else, Smack?
I'm gonna use my bonus action to make my way towards the gangplank where those other 2 are and just post myself up.
Okay. All right. The 2 on the docks right now, they're not gonna have much to do this turn. They kind of latch onto the sides and need to pull themselves up as well. That's gonna take their whole movement to get up there. And so you have 2 more that are crawling over, and then on Mama's turn,
Does
she angry.
really notice us? Is it like a perception check?
She notices the ship. She's not really paying attention, I think, to anything specifically, because she does come straight in the direct. She comes charging over. She's still probably about 30 feet, 40 feet away from the ship itself. However, she does. You hear a noise similar to what you heard from the smaller creatures, but much louder from her. This rattling coming from inside her gut, and then this spray of acid comes shooting out towards the ship. It will catch some of you. It's going to be a 60-foot line, 10 feet wide. So say it's going to get half of you rounded up. So we'll go with who said it's a Sam? Samek, you said you moved towards the front. I think Simon, you moved in a little bit. Anais, you did too. We're gonna go with the 3 of you guys. Let me get some dex saving throws.
Ooh. 8.
It's a fail.
9.
Better, but still a fail.
24.
What if I said that was a fail? No, it's a success. Okay, so those of you succeeded. Enemies, you don't have the evasion. You take 23 points of acid damage.
46.
47
Oh, giddy.
points.
Okay.
Oh, acid damage.
I don't even know if I can make a con save that high to keep Spirit Guardians up.
So yeah, be a 26 con save.
26.
You can add 20.
If you roll a natural 20, I'll give it to you. But
Yeah, because the con save's only a +5.
Oh.
Nope. So Spirit
Nope.
Guardians is gone.
all right. It hits the 2. It hits the 3 of you, and as you duck out of the way as best you can, but you still get like the acid drenches the side of you. You just feel it burning through your skin. The other 2, you feel it burning you as well. You're gonna have some nasty scars, so you don't receive some magical healing by the end of this.
I imagine Simic tries to put the radiant claws in front of him, but it just splashes through.
It just goes straight through. Yeah. It also hits a few of the crew members who are just gone. Dale was just gone. No, Dale's still alive. We gotta deal with that afterwards. I've just invented this character. No named NPCs die, but they're gone.
Where's
The
Tucker,
ship
though?
he didn't make it.
No!
The ship itself, though, a lot of the wood now has these like pools of acid on it. If it's not like tended to immediately or soon, it's going to start eating through the deck and cause some serious problems. A lot of the railing has already like dissolved away. So ship's not looking great. but it's still standing. That's the end of her turn. At initiative count 22, or 20 as well. Should have done this before her turn. The bladders are inflated enough that you begin to get some buoyancy to the ship. Captain Leon begins to bark out some orders, and the crew that is remaining is sort of pulling at the rigging and trying to get the ship moving. You do feel the ship beginning to list, like it is taking off, but it's a big ship. It's going to take some time for it to get away, and the queen is coming right up on you. And Ace.
Okay. Are there any of the small ones left on the deck?
2.
There's 2. Okay.
Are they on the side of the ship? They didn't even make it up the whole way.
You are they've made it up the whole way. They're like on the deck, but just like right against the edge.
Oh man, and Mama Bear is how close?
I said about 30.
About 30?
40 feet away.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't want to deal with that. I'm gonna try to hit. Yeah, I'm gonna run up on the ones that are still on the deck and try to get them off of it by killing them.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm gonna just take my swords and slide over towards one of those. Whoa, that's shit. 11.
No, not quite enough.
I'll use my bonus action to do a short sword attack.
Okay.
Much better. 24.
Hits.
Great. So I can do sneak attack on this one, yes? Because I can do it once per whatever.
Yeah.
Turn,
Once
round,
per
whatever
turn.
it is. Great. Good thing I bought all these D6s. 16 of the
16, okay.
the piercing damage.
Okay. 16 of the piercings to bug on the left. Yeah, your first strike just being thrown off from the acid damage. Your aim's a little bit off, not able to get through its plating. Second one sinks home, dealing a significant amount of damage to the bug. That one is still up. Is that it for your turn?
I was trying to decide if I was gonna run away again.
It's up to you.
Yeah, I'm gonna run away again.
Fair enough. All right, you go
gonna back up.
darting like up the stairs to like the forecastle deck of the ship.
Bye.
All right, Xander.
Seeing the massive acid spray, I'm gonna realize Crow's probably flying around out here somewhere, and I'm gonna just yell, "Get inside!" because he's just gonna be a little snack.
Yeah, Crow's just like up flying around, just and yeah, he goes.
And
goes
then
flying
I will
inside.
just shoot the one, and it keeps damaging. So it seems every time she hits one, I gets to kill one.
Hey,
Kill
teamwork
stealing
makes the
bastard.
dream work.
Son of a! That was
Or
a
not.
1.
Or it kills your
Oof.
dreams.
Which makes
Yep, that's
doesn't
a
hit.
miss.
And 26.
Does it?
Man, the one time I go sharp shoot on. There's 7 piercing,
All right, still up.
and then I don't know if I'm in range of them because I do have crossbow expert, so it doesn't really matter if they're next to me.
Oh yeah, I wasn't even thinking about that, but yeah,
So it's
they are
more-
like in melee of you, but
I guess I'll just stand there then, doing the whole little Chris Pratt raptor pose, like, don't attack me, I'm sorry for shooting you.
so you shoot him twice, then you go, hold on, let's talk about this.
Hold on, and I'll pull my arrow out so I get it back. I'm sorry.
Simon, it's your turn.
Can we tell how hurt Mama Bear seems?
On a scale of, I'm looking at fractions here, probably 1 to 20. She's like at a 19 out of 20, pretty much still.
Okay. Yeah, then I think I'm gonna try this. Simon wipes some of the acid off, looks at her points and says, "That was the worst party foul," and I'm casting banishment on her. So she needs to make a charisma save.
Well, that's a 14.
That fails, so she's poof.
That -2 charisma, not helping. And yeah, she goes, I can't do a good voice for this, but yeah, she screams and then poof, just gone.
Alright, she should be gone for at least a minute as long as I don't get hit. And so Simon is then gonna go and try and find cover somewhere on deck and just hunker down behind his shield.
Yeah, I mean, you can start like there's the door that leads into the forecastle that you could like get. You'd still be like on the main deck or level with the main deck, but you'd be kind of get behind cover there.
Yep.
So yeah, you duck back that way. Oof. Okay. So all that's left now are the 2 bugs that are on the deck of your ship. One looking pretty hurt, the other one not touched. Zari.
Zari's going to move over to where Simon is and kind of just post herself up in front of him. And then if she is, I'm assuming she's still within range, but she's going to try to Eldritch Blast both of those duders.
Okay.
I think I have a, yeah. So one is a dirty 20 and one is just a 12.
Okay, the 20 hits.
Okay. So that's 10 damage.
10 damage. Okay. That one's looking very, very rough, but still up.
Has Simon been hit yet?
Yep, I am very bloodied, and I'm
like physically, because I'll go ahead and like smear some of his and use it as my blast.
No, you might get more acid than blood if you did that.
That's all right. It can be mixed. Doesn't have to be super pure.
Your finger's a little bit tingly as you use this
Ooh.
acid mixed blood to fire out some Eldritch blasts.
Mhm.
All right, Simek,
Hello.
what you got, buddy?
I'm gonna attack one with 17 and 8. That's
17 and 8 to
25, yeah.
Oh, you're adding it. I was like, I didn't know if those were both your attacks. Yeah, that hits.
I'll attack there. It takes 13 points of radiant damage on the first attack.
That one's dead.
And then he turns on the other one. 17, 4, 2, and 9 points of radiant, and wings around for the last attack of dirty 20.
Hits.
12 points radiant damage.
12 points of radiant damage. Okay. This one is looking very rough, but you slash at it twice with your these radiant claws.
Yes, and I'm gonna interpose myself between this thing and people behind me, so if it acid sprays, just a one big ass body wall.
Okay.
That's not how lines work, but
sure, but it might help. We might do like an advantage thing if it does decide to do that. It is its turn. Yeah, I mean it's gonna do that because it's like the best option that it's got. So yeah, I'll say I'll give advantage on the dexterity saving throws for anyone behind you, which I will put at.
If it's just gonna hit NPCs, I'll stand
I'm gonna
next
put
to
at
Summit to save them.
Okay.
If you just want us two to take it, and we just save Dale.
Okay, two of you link arms and.
Because I think everyone else kind of ran
Rover, this acid
inside,
splash.
so it's us two and NPCs.
I'm still out
Okay.
there.
Oh, I thought you
Yeah.
stabbed and then just ran off like, oh, I'm going away.
Okay, I'll have the two of you make dexterity saving throws then. We'll just do that, and then nobody else has to take any.
Oh, I've got
Yeah,
danger
take a look.
sense. Sorry.
Advantage.
18.
I don't-
Sorry.
It's like we're seeing this game for the first time.
I got excited.
Okay, so you had danger sense. So you rolled 18, you said?
Yeah.
Okay, and then Xander 12.
No, it's got a 12.
Okay. Xander fails. Smek succeeds, and we're gonna flavor this like this. So the acid spray, because you're getting in the way of it. You're trying to resist the trying to actually block it. So you're not really dodging out of the way, but you angle your body and kind of like place your back to the creature to sort of deflect the acid as much as you can. You still take some damage because it is because you are getting hit.
It's a get down, Mr. President situation.
Yeah.
I don't
You
think
take-
that turning around.
Yeah, he just takes it right in the face. So 9 to Xander and 4 to Samek.
It
Okay.
just seemed cool. Sonic seemed like he was doing something cool, so I'm like, I got to do that.
That'll end its lone turn now. The queen is just
Chilling.
gone. Chilling on a
Incapacitated
beach
in
somewhere.
demiplane.
Yeah, so I'm assuming looks like Rio, and just like having a good time away from the kids. And Ace,
What is left for me to hit?
the one bug.
I'm coming for you.
I mean, there are a lot of crew members.
No, not them.
Simon just ducked in. Okay, yeah. The
No,
bug.
the crew still loves me from ever since like our first session, and I am not gonna back down on that.
Yeah.
I might need them, but I want to try to hit the bug.
Okay.
With my rapier. 19.
Yeah, that hits.
Great. Love it. It's 21 piercing damage.
And that's enough.
Yes.
So with your rapier, as this thing lets out its last death resisting blast of acid, trying to eliminate these threats to its mama, you come like sleeking up, kind of sidestepping between Xander and Samek, and then just plunge your rapier deep into this creature. It spasms for a moment as you rip the blade out, and then collapses in death.
Okay. And that was the last one in my in our immediate vicinity, right?
Yes.
I would like to use my bonus action to second wind. Just real quick,
You can do that.
just in case.
You can do that.
So I can do a d10. So I'll heal like 8.
Because I assume, Simon, you hold on to the spell for the next
Holding onto it,
minute.
though I will be doing Spare the Dying on any crew members that I can.
That's fine. That's fine. You begin to immediately tend to the crew members. The crew members, because it's only been like a round, start to. They're probably a little bit prepared for this. Probably have some bags of like sand and stuff that they begin to dump out onto the acid to try to like absorb as much as they can, and then like sweep it off the deck to try to mitigate the damage as much as possible. Because it's common for these creatures to do this kind of acid sprays. But after this minute passes and you're retreating from the dock, you guys are about 200 feet out or so. You just watch as the queen appears as suddenly as she disappeared in a puff of radiant light far from you, and lets out one last roar, surrounded by the ants that are still pouring out from the peaks of Port Prodantis. And you have escaped with your lives and with the ship intact.
Quick
And
question,
we're-
Sean.
Yes.
Did we at all, as we're going away, pass where I parked my food car?
You
Like,
see
if
it.
I shot with the arrow with the rope and did enough damage,
So
is there
this
a
what happens?
chance?
You're coming around the edge and you see it perched up on the cliff, and the handle is actually facing towards you, and you begin to draw the arrow to fire to hopefully catch onto it. But before you're able to tie the arrow onto something, one of those ants just comes surfing down the hill, smashes into the cart, and both it and the ant go tumbling down into the
Life's
far
not
below.
worth living anymore. My food car's
Boo.
And we're gonna take our break there. Thank you all for watching. We'll be back in a little bit, so stay tuned for the second half of our session. Be right back. And welcome back, Internet. Thank you for hanging out with us on our break. Let's get back into the game. So your crew has successfully avoided being consumed by a hungry swarm of angry onkegs or kavar, and are sailing off to your next destination. So we're picking up like right where that left off. Damage to the ship is being mitigated. There's some shocked looks from the crew as they turn to their neighbor and see they're just a pile of goop on the ground. Simon is going around and sparing the dying to as many people as possible.
Then, I would go ahead probably and just do preserve life, and just try and heal a bunch of people, because I assume we're going to take a short rest after this anyway. So use that to top people off.
Okay.
Okay, so 5 times my cleric level, so that's 40 HP given to people to get them up to half at most. So if any of you need it, say how much you're taking, and then give it to the rest of the crew. And then if there's any left over for Simon, he'll take it.
Yeah, I think, Simon, you're the only person in the group that is below half right now.
Okay.
And yeah, I mean, I'd say tending to the crew members as much as you can. The ones that were damaged and survived, there aren't that many, and you're able to heal them up enough that they're good. So you can get yourself back up to half, at least.
Zari's gonna go up to Dale.
Yeah, just the older crew member, the veteran crew member that you cut. It's like he's still grabbing onto his side. I think Simon like healed him a little bit. I don't think he was below half, but you gave him some tending to, and he's looking at his cut shirt and his side, and he looks at you as you approach. He sort of flinches for a second. He says, "No, you just, we're all good. Thank you for what you did. Just stand over there, just right there. Okay, good."
If you all will recall, we played a card game the first episode with a bunch of people. Someone owed me a debt. This is debt that she repaid and she is taking. So she's just going to say, "I apologize for the suddenness of me taking the debt that you owed me, but we are square, so you do not owe me any favors anymore."
He like looks down at his side, looks up at you. "I'm just glad I didn't owe you more, I guess."
Oh, this was just a favor. If you owed me a real debt, then that, yes, probably would have been worse. Well, have a good one. She turns.
Wide-eyed, and his face just white with fear after watching, because you still have the mage armor on too, so you still got like blood armor circling around it. Yeah, no, I think you guys are square.
Cool. Then I'll go try to assist Simon after.
Okay.
I think in terms of mechanical healing, I want to do. I do have the healer feat, so I can use healer's kit to give people HP before you start spending hit dice. So anyone who wants that, so I know how many uses to do. Just the two of you? Okay, so you're each going to get 1d6 plus 4 plus your maximum number of hit dice, so 8. So, well, I rolled a 1, so that's 13 health that you get just without doing any hit dice.
Can I heal an extra 3 to make my current HP 69?
Yes, I'll allow it.
If we're taking a short rest, I'm going to spend a couple hit die to get my HP back up to 69.
Okay. Noticing a theme here.
Oh, and my second wind comes back. Ah.
So we're short resting.
Yeah, I assumed you guys were.
We are short resting.
Oh,
You have
now
some
I
time
to-
while everybody's getting everything, like inventory is being taken of what the ship's current condition is.
to manage 2 different hit die.
Yeah, these sheets are not great at multi-classing with hit dice.
I have
It does say I heal 4, but I'm gonna stab myself so I lose 1 health to make me 69.
Okay. It just
I'll stub my
It's
toe. Be like, oh yes.
Yeah, for each one of you that takes additional hit points to go up to 69, I am going to need more of you to lose hit points to come down to it.
Heck,
So
okay.
I mean, I can do
There's
that because I
balance
just
to the
rolled
universe.
very well on my hit dice, and so I can spare them the health and still get back to full afterwards.
While that's all going on, I think Zari will approach her brother. Sandy,
Yes.
are you really upset about me about all this magic? I thought you knew.
Yeah, the blood sacrifices.
Well, there is a debt that needs to be paid to use the magic. Every magic is like that. This one is just a more physical thing.
I wonder what Simon's thing that pays to use the drunken fun magic.
Well, I mean, maybe alcohol. Usually there is some component to a spell that is sacrificed for the use. I don't want you
Well-
to be upset at me, little brother.
Just don't go killing people. Sounds like pretty. There's got to be other ways apart from killing people.
I don't kill people to use magic.
Don't go cutting crew members, even if they owe you a favor.
I suppose I could be more cautious. I try to only take from myself or from others that are already bleeding.
Did I see you got this guy? It was as I just climbed back up onto the ship. Like, did I see you walk over and just slice and
Well, I mean, she's not lying. She does try to do that. Every time you've seen her use magic, it's usually her or she's like dipping in a vial or something like that.
are you still covered in blood armor?
No, she would
Does
have
it
dropped
last
it.
8 hours? I'm just-
Yeah, she'll make it less visible, so it just her leathers have like a red hue.
Enchanted Skyrim armor, yes.
Zandy, I just don't want you to be upset at me.
Just don't kill innocents. Or harm innocents, sorry, don't harm innocents.
I promise you that I will not harm anyone who is innocent.
I'm just feeling there's probably some way you're gonna twist this around.
That I will twist it around?
You always twist things around. My whole life I say something and you're like, fine, I promise I won't. And then you say what I said and I know I've missed something, but I don't know what.
Xander, we're not children anymore. You know, out here we really only have each other. I mean, there are others that we can rely on, but, you know, blood is very important. Like sibling blood is what I meant by that.
Is there like a hidden meaning to that? Like sibling blood's very important. Like
No, I was just trying to be clever with the whole, we were speaking of blood magic and now I'm talking about like a metaphorical blood tie
slightly
between us.
concerned.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
Is there anything I can do to make you feel better?
Don't use my blood.
I won't use your blood.
Ever.
I won't
Ever.
use your blood
No matter what.
for magic, no matter what, ever.
No, not for magic, just not my blood. I don't want you
Why
drawing
would
or
I want your
painting.
blood if I'm not using it for magic?
You specified I won't use your blood for magic. Just I won't use your blood covers everything. You
Okay.
specified one thing.
I won't use your blood. Ever.
I think I got myself covered. I think that covers everything.
Perfect.
Did I cover everything?
Yes.
This guy, you're a lawyer. Did I cover it? I'm gonna look at Crow and be like,
I didn't.
did I miss something? Did I miss
You
something, Crow? Like, it's
Crow says you haven't paid me. I don't represent you. I can't.
All right. Well, what if I get you some breakfast?
It's not scrambled eggs.
Awesome.
Mojave eggs, are they safe?
He like runs away.
Runs down the deck.
All right.
Well, as you head down to the lower deck and you look,
They're having
fine.
scrambled fucking eggs with these Harpy eggs. There's gonna be
No, the eggs are okay. So you check on your eggs. He just goes running off. Anyone else above deck want to do anything immediately? It's very early morning, like the sun has just risen at this point. Anything like in the immediate 30 minutes to an hour after the ship has.
If Zari is getting me breakfast and not in her area, I'm snooping. I know I shouldn't, but she lied to me and I don't trust her one bit right now. She was very specific about I won't use your blood for magic.
Okay. Zara, you actually going to get like breakfast for?
Yes, I said I would because I'm a good
okay.
fucking sister.
Okay. So you go snoop around in your sister's room. I want to have you make a stealth check because where she is going to get food wouldn't be in the same area. So other people might see you go in there. But
I'm a noble. Fucking nobles. Whatever.
What does he immediately see when he enters your room? Sorry. Like what is out and about? You don't have a lot of space, but
yeah, there are two scarves on the wall that are just kind of like making it look a little bit nicer than just like the hardwood behind it. Her bunk has nice sheets under a not so nice blanket. Like she was given the blanket, but she brought the sheets because like she knew. She has her bag, and it's neatly tucked away. There's I don't think she has anything out because the boat moves a lot. I think the bag is probably like up on a peg.
okay.
She's keeping it simple, you know.
Okay, so you come into her room. That's what you see, Xander. What do you want to look at?
If there's no space to hide anything under the hammock, I'm looking in the bag.
Okay.
There's two places they can hide, under the hammock and a bag.
Okay. You go into the bag. What does he find in there?
Just like normal travel gear that's like too nice. There's some random components. The chalice is in there. That is a gold with some inlays on it, depicting a scene of some sort. I don't know off the top of my head what it would be, but probably some fire and that sort of thing. But really, there's just like makeup and stuff she shouldn't, like a really nice hairbrush and a hand mirror, like that sort of thing.
You also find in the bag a stack of papers consisting of the inside of a few ledgers, some letters opened from their envelopes, so the seal's broken, containing some first-hand accounts. If you just skim through them and immediately, there's some first-hand accounts that people have written describing some functions that they attended at the Valander estate. You see that, you notice what these are almost immediately, but you also notice that the corners of the paper are singed slightly, and there's like a handprint covering up some of the writing on the top and the bottom papers that is dark, looks like probably dried blood on the pages themselves.
Okay, I'll take them.
Okay.
When I'll consider putting blood in this little chalice thing, but I won't because it's freaky. And I'll just take the paper.
Okay. You take the papers and you go to turn to leave the tent, and just for a moment, the hairs on the back of your neck sort of stand up, and you just hear this faint voice from behind you say, "Xander."
I heard nothing. Just keep on walking. Like I don't know if I heard that at all growing up. I don't know if freaky shit like that happened.
I'm trying to decide whether you'd actually remember it or whether it maybe did and you blocked it out of your memories from some sort of like childhood trauma, essentially, because you couldn't process what your family was doing, apparently. So I'm going to say you probably don't remember anything because you didn't know your family was doing blood magic. So as of right now, no, it's not something it's not familiar to you. That's probably a first.
I'm still gonna ignore it because that was a creepy chalice thing and I'm getting out of here. I take this.
Can I intrude?
Sure.
Because I
Roll
was
to
also
intrude.
gonna go down and go through Zari's stuff.
As I open the
But I would love to
Yeah.
just like realize that Xander's in there and then just like casually wait outside.
Okay, not like hiding, but just like waiting outside.
If I know
Um,
it's Xander in there,
It's not hard to tell.
can't imagine.
yeah.
It's just casually waiting outside.
Oh,
He's
yeah,
found
I
me. He's
wasn't
found me
stealthing.
like hiding behind barrels and
weren't
stuff. So
stealthing.
it's my turn.
Yeah, you hear him clomping around in there, and here's probably some like muttering, and then he turns and you see him open the curtain and he looks you in the face, and he probably has, I imagine, with the voice that you hear at that exact moment too, there's just like this shocked expression across his face as he sees you.
Am I the only one that heard the voice?
Yes.
Hello.
I take it from your face that you were going through some of your sister's more personal belongings.
No, someone just said my name, so can we move from here? It's creeping me out.
Okay.
I was gonna go try and find you anyway because you still are, so you probably restore are correct.
Mhm.
There
Also
is
make
a
fake art.
handprint of dried blood on stuff, and I thought maybe you'd be able to clear it so we can read it properly. Because somebody happened to have ledgers about their family, which were apparently burnt down last night in their bed.
You don't say. Let's find somewhere to talk.
Okay. Can we go to our little secret hidey hole we found Just-
behind the barrels.
Yeah.
Just-
We've made
You
it
guys
better
go-
now, though.
It's like a fort now.
Yeah,
you've got-
yeah.
At
We've
some
got
to our
point,
treats
fort.
and everything. That's where I
Yeah, I
put
want to
my
get to what
harpy eggs.
Zari does when you get your breakfast and you go walking
Yeah.
around to look for Xander.
Xander!
And he's nowhere.
Shh, shh. Let's stay very still.
yeah.
Okay.
Zari's just gonna keep looking for him.
Make a. I'm gonna have the two of you make stealth checks. I'm gonna have Zari make it a perception check.
I got an 18.
28.
Solid. I got a 9.
Okay. Can't find him. Food's getting cold.
Good person. I try to be nice to my brother, and yet he just walks off.
I think Samek walks by as he's like staring at his hand, and he just takes the food from her grasp and starts eating it.
Would you care to join me for breakfast?
Sure.
Solid.
This
We
is
will go
right
eat
outside
breakfast.
the barrels too. They're just
What's Simon doing? Tending to the wounded crewmates.
You just
doing
wait. We
important
might need
things.
him in a little bit.
Yeah. Probably still tending to the wounded, so I don't know if anyone
Okay.
has come to fetch him with any of this or if that's still
We'll see it
ongoing.
as.
In about 5
Yeah.
minutes, it's going to be Bloody Mary time. So
Okay, you guys look through you look through the papers. Like I said, it's mostly correspondence, various nobles, serving staff, that have been and other people that could actually write over the years that these letters have been intercepted or stolen by the spiders. It doesn't take a lot of restoration to get the blood off. You're able to kind of chip away and see the
it's like painter's
see the-
hands.
writing underneath. I mean, it wasn't. You don't gather that was done purposely to like obfuscate any important writing. It just looks like that was.
especially considering they could have just burnt the house and the paper.
I just
Yeah.
don't want to destroy
Important
anything
stuff.
underneath.
Yeah, it looks about the size of Zari's handprint, or what her hands would be, though. On the pages, and it looks pretty fresh. But yeah, I mean, it's mostly an account of the various rituals and yeah, I mean, I won't go into too much detail with it because I'm sure it's kind of grisly stuff. But yeah, it's just a lot of the rituals and sacrifices and things that the Valander family has entertained other like-minded individuals in hosting over the years.
Would her patron's name be in there?
That's a good point.
Do you see patron's name in rituals?
Imagine at some
might
point
they
you have to.
Yeah, I don't think they refer to him by name though, but I'm thinking of a title that they might use. Jeez, I thought I had something for this a while back.
Poor guy. No.
Yeah, we'll just go with the name, because that's just gonna be easier.
The Lord of No Mercy.
Yeah, actually, that's a good one. I like that. Yeah, I just pulled it up. Lord of No Mercy, the Cold Lord, the Lord of Cania.
All these names are mentioned different spots.
Mhm. Yeah.
I know another D&D character that knows these names.
Yeah, I don't think they ever refer to it by actual name within the books. But the two of you could make a history or arcana. Probably history, but religion would work too.
They're all
They're the same for me.
I'll go religion. Ooh, 11.
18.
Okay, with an 18, I don't think you have to go to Simon just yet. These are names that are commonly used in reference to the to Mephistopheles.
Oh. Interesting.
What's interesting?
I think I might know where your family gets its power from.
Yeah, blood.
Who, I
Gathered
guess.
that.
Well, it's no fun if you just say it right away. You have no sense of drama.
I'm sorry, I found papers which we thought were in a house which burnt down while we were all apparently asleep, which may have caused bugs to destroy a town and then attack us and kill some crew members in my sister's bag.
Do you want my help or not?
Yes, I'm just saying there's been enough drama today already.
Mephistopheles.
No idea who that is.
Big, bad demon lord. The Frozen Place. Cania. Any of that ring a bell?
I probably saw his name growing up somewhere.
One of
He
the...
probably had a big study session on it and I just didn't listen.
Okay. The demon lords. The big, mean demons.
Okay,
One of the
Yep.
biggest.
one of the biggest. We stopped him. We saved my sister.
Now I... Hold on. One. No, you can't stop Mephistopheles. He just is. And two, I don't know that your sister needs to be saved.
She just burned a whole place down, assuming by herself.
I mean,
You
you
see
were
my
one of the ones who
sister.
was planning on killing all of those people anyway, so...
Yeah, to get the paperwork, not burn everything down.
Well, you have the paperwork and they're dead. I don't see what the difference is. You're just mad because she's lied to you.
That and there's Mephisto, whatever, please.
No, you don't get on Simon's case because he gets his power from some big, hard to describe being that's out there.
Yet. I'm working my way through it.
Oh, good luck. I think you just
So-
need to work on your relationship with your sister instead of going after a demon. But you don't pay me for my advice, so.
I'll slide over in gold and be like, advice, please.
You want my real opinion?
Yeah.
How much gold did you give me?
I only have 2 on me. I've slid 1 over for now. And be like, look, there could be more. I think we on retainer. I heard that word being thrown around.
I have done a lot of work for you so far. Listen,
I'll slide over my other gold.
my true and honest opinion. You, while an excellent shot and a man with good intentions and a good heart, cannot kill a demon, cannot kill a god, and put too much stock in society's simple notions of good and evil. Your sister's doing what your family does. She's not doing anything that a lot of other people wouldn't do. She loves you, cares about you. And while she's not always the most upfront about what she's doing, I think if you speak with her honestly, she'll tell you more than you think.
So I need to get stronger to kill this demon. That's okay. I need bigger arrows.
All right.
Maybe I can take Samek with us. He can.
I would advise against asking Samek about any of this.
Okay.
I know
Tell
you're not
no
going
one.
to listen to me, but if you trust
Tell
me
no one.
at all,
I have no reason not to yet.
then trust me when I say, to a certain extent, I trust your sister. To lead us where we need to go.
And then we destroy the gem.
Now, no.
It sounds evil.
Why?
Pretty soon it's got evil in its name.
Why?
Oh, it's
Why?
really listening.
What?
It's just,
Do you actually now?
I have
Do you
no
even know
idea
what
why
the
we're
gem
here
is
to-
called?
My sister was boarding a ship and I didn't know she could do stuff, so I'm like, why is she boarding a ship? Let's follow.
Okay, well here's
And
you want a simple path to follow.
destroy the gem. Kill the demon.
That's not how it's going to go.
Start a food cart.
Take the gem, figure out where it came from. Easier path to the demon.
We'll
I
see
can help
how
you with
things
that.
go.
If you're interested.
No, you don't sound trustworthy. We'll see how things go. I'm gonna go try and find some breakfast.
Good luck.
Oh, and don't tell anyone about the papers.
Who is holding on to the papers, by the way, at the end of this conversation?
I am. I will be taking them. She's probably got a hold of them right now, but I will be taking them.
I'd love to see you try.
Are you going to try to hold on to the papers, Anise?
If he tries to take some of them from... If he tries to take them from me, I'm gonna try to snake some of them.
We
Okay,
will
make a
roll
sleight
for
of hand check.
initiative and we will find this.
Oh no. If you want them back, I'll hand you back a stack of papers.
Make a sleight of hand check. And perception check from Sander.
19.
22.
All right. You can only take so many without it
Of course.
being apparent that you have taken some, but you get a decent size, decent handful of them tucked behind your back before you hand the rest to Xander.
There you go. You're the
I'm
expert.
assuming I have the one which has all the names written on it, considering that's the one we focused on.
I mean, there wasn't like one that had a bunch of names on it. Each
one
like
we
set of
scraped.
correspondence.
The one
main
that was on
handprint.
top when
Yeah.
you gave it to me is still on top when I give it back.
Yeah, the one with like the blood handprint on it, that is still on top. Yes.
You're the expert.
As Xander heads out to find what little remains of breakfast, as Samek and Zari have eaten their share of it, Simon, above deck, you've tended to the crew, and as you're finishing up with the last couple wounded, Captain Leon comes up behind you, looking a bit disheveled as she has surveyed the damage with her quartermasters and figuring out what they can salvage and not. She looks down at you, and as you're finishing up the last patient, she says, "Thanks for tending to that. I think our onboard medic was part of that pile over there, so It's nice having you around.
This is why I came on expedition, but this is also my purpose.
Right. Well, like I said, thank you. I'll provide you some extra compensation once this is all done to make up for what the salary that our ship medic would have received for any additional work that you're going to have to take dealing with, the standard woes of the sailing type. Where are where are the rest of them at?
Not sure. They're somewhere below deck. They went off to do their things. I believe the noble siblings were talking. Not sure where the other two went off to.
Right. Well, if you could do me a favor once you've had a chance to rest, gather up a few of them at least. See if you can find Zari, since she's sort of in charge of this thing for some reason, and come to my cabin. We have some discussion regarding our destination. Savi?
So we'll go look for them.
All right. So you head down. If there's anything you want to do resting wise, you can do that first, or any conversations you have with other people. But Captain Leon has asked you to do this favor for her.
I don't know that there's any that he would initiate the conversation, but if in the process of gathering others, anyone's like, hey, can I talk to you for a second? He would be like, yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, because I don't think he's just going to go and tell them, hey, I had this weird dream about the gem. But
Who do you come in contact with first?
who is most readily available as I head into the crew quarters?
I don't know where
Just everyone runs up to Simon, like,
Yeah.
hey, talk to me.
You see glowing exclamation points over everyone's heads. Everyone's loyalty quest is unlocked.
Are we eating in the mess hall?
Yeah. I imagine you guys are you guys at separate tables from each
No,
other?
I asked him to join me for breakfast.
Okay, I don't know, Xander, if you actually go and you eat breakfast with your sister.
No, Samek, not Xander. Xander was dicking around doing shit.
Okay. So Samek and Zara, you guys are in the mess hall eating. Xander, you head to get what remains of food. So yeah, I mean, we'll just... Annies, you are the first one to run into Simon.
Great. Simon.
Oh, good. Who's looking for you? Captain wants to speak to all of us.
Oh, great. Do you have just a moment?
Sure. What would you like to discuss?
Xander.
Ah. Shall we find somewhere quiet?
Oh, just briefly.
Okay.
Well, we can't go to the fort. We just go off to the side.
Yeah.
I just sort of pull him off to the side for a second. You're a holy man. I have a minor concern.
I can try to help, but you'll have to tell me what the concern is.
Yeah, I spoke to Xander earlier, and he... I don't know, he seems sort of convinced that a demon is involved in all this business that's been following us.
It's not outside the realm of possibility, but what made him think that?
Well, I don't know, he was sort of rambling and confused, as he sometimes is, I guess. But I don't know, he just sort of started blaming other people for it, and I'm concerned about his intentions.
I think I'd like to roll insight, see... I'm worried that that's meta, because the way that Anais has framed this is different from how that conversation went down, but I also don't know for certain.
Oh,
that...
it's incredibly different.
Yeah, I mean, my My passive insight is 18.
Oh no.
It's fine. Annie's make a deception check.
I'm pretty good at these. That's a 19 plus 6. What is that number?
25.
I mean, I can technically beat that if I roll, but it beats my
Yeah,
passive.
I'll let you roll for insight. Just keep things interesting.
That's only a 22.
Okay. So yeah, no red flags so far.
Okay, well, that does seem odd. Do you want me to go and talk with him about demons, or?
Well, I don't know if that's necessarily the best course of action. I don't know, in our little group, you're the expert, and he's been acting strange, and I didn't really know who else to ask.
So he thinks there's a demon involved, but didn't say why he thought that?
No, but I get the impression he's been trying to do some snooping around, going through people's things, that kind of thing. I don't know. I couldn't tell you his intentions, but
He's been snooping through everyone's things, or? Because, I mean, the layperson hears blood magic, thinks demons. I can see why he would be concerned about his sister, perhaps, but...
well, I don't know. I have been spending a little bit of time with her, and I found some of my things out of place as well, so...
That is concerning, but it's also possible that, I mean, he's a fucking noble. He thinks it's his right to do it.
True. Well, I don't know. I trust your judgment. So, if you think it's nothing, it's probably nothing.
And I think I should probably go and have a chat with him, just see what has got him so riled up, but I suppose thank you for bringing this to my attention.
And I'd appreciate it if you didn't, mention that it was me who brought it up, but...
Well, I can try to leave your name out of it, but he may start flinging accusations.
Oh, you can handle that, right? And if it really is a demon, there you go. That's sort of your whole thing.
I mean, not my whole thing, but I'm not a demonologist, but...
Well, more than the rest of us.
Yes, well, maybe. If that's where Zari gets her power. Not as much as her, but yes.
I doubt it. She doesn't really seem the type.
Alright, well, Captain wants us. Do you know where the others are?
Well, Zari and Zamek, I think, are having breakfast. So, I'm sure Xander's skulking around somewhere.
Alright, well. Once you are ready, go and meet with the captain. We need to discuss where we are going.
Of course. And thank you, really. You bring us comfort.
All right, so you go retrieve or go inform Zari and Samek about the meeting with Captain Leon. Do you just go get Xander, or do you want to talk to him first?
Yeah, I think probably is gonna find Xander, and
This is how you find Xander. He's looking at the barrel, he sees you, and he's like, "Psst, Siren! Siren!"
Xander?
Yeah, random question. I was talking to my sister earlier, and she said she uses blood to cast magic. That all magic has a little price to pay. Do people just not get drunk around you? Is that how your magic's done?
No, I mean, if anything, people tend to get more drunk around me because that's the kind of, I tend to
So you
try and
make people drunk. That's how you cast your spells.
No, I just do good things and try to follow and spread the teachings of my god.
Your god, it's not a demon, right?
Unless he's been, putting the wool over everyone's eyes for centuries.
Cool. Now, completely not related to anything here. Is it possible to kill it?
I mean, it is. There are stories, certainly for, a lesser devil or demon. If you go to their home plane and kill them there, they die. If you just kill them here on the material plane, then they just get sent back and are reborn.
And if they were, say, like one of the big ones?
That would be not quite the same level as trying to kill a god. I mean, I suppose it is technically possible, but would take someone having immense power. And I mean, it is. Are you thinking you need to go and kill a demon? Is that what this is about?
Oh, no. Saying if demons are bad, they cause bad things. It only makes sense that to remove the evil from the world, you just.
I mean, I can see why you would think that, but the issue is, and this is something, not many people really get, is that good and evil, capital G, capital E, are just forces that exist in the multiverse. And so, sure, you could theoretically kill a big bad demon, but then a new one would come to take its place. There's just always going to be big evil. And, conversely, if something happens to a god, there will still be more good that comes to fill in that gap. And so, I mean, the world is not perfectly in balance, but there's an ebb and flow to these sorts of things that keeps the multiverse moving.
But the new big bad wouldn't have control over everyone the previous big bad did straight away.
Not per se, but the politics of the hells are.
That's good enough for me. I just need to get stronger, is what you're saying.
That is not entirely it. I mean, you may be the best marksman in the world, but just shooting an arrow in a demon's eye is going to be little more than a mosquito bite.
Well, there'd be more than one arrow.
I didn't hear that.
There'd be more than one arrow. My quiver holds 20. I'm like, but no, thank you.
You're welcome, but try to. If you have any more concerns, let me know. But in the meantime, the captain wants to speak with us.
Cool. Oh, do you have a book on demons?
Probably not specifically. I don't think Simon would have brought like a demonology book on the excursion.
I don't see why you thought you would have needed one. So.
Mhm.
Oh, and do you know anything about this crystal gem thing? Why we're here?
I mean, it does. Its
Is it bad?
stories. Anais would be the one to ask about that, but I mean, it's called the Heart
Yes.
of Death. It has a terrible history. There is a possibility it has some malignant magics about it.
So if I plan on destroying it, you on board with that?
I am not sure yet what to do about this thing, but I do not think we should just be giving it over to the Lord. But
Oh yeah, no. Cool. So, Captain, chat,
yes,
and he'll just finger gun and walk away unless you want to talk to him about something.
I think that's it for now.
Okay. Xander continues down this road that he is making for himself. Simon, or I guess Zari and Samek, you guys haven't had a chance to do anything for a bit. Is there any conversations the two of you were having over breakfast or before you were
Probably
interrupted?
just idle conversation about his new technique that she saw today. She probably wouldn't push anything really, like gauging how the conversation goes and how. I'm assuming he feels more comfortable in silence. Yes.
Yeah. If she asks about it, he's just gonna say, "Oh, it's new to me too." So I
You
don't
know,
know.
I would absolutely enjoy just exploring more things with you about this. I've never seen it before, and I'm sorry, I didn't mean to be weird about that. I just meant I don't get to see many other magics or any other things like this.
I
So
was
it's
about to say, don't you have a fiance?
Emek. That's not what I meant, of course.
Well, if it's one thing, the after effects are a bit of a bitch, and he'll peel like the side of his shirt, and there's like a burn scar in the shape of a claw on his shoulder.
Oh, darling. Do you want Simon to look at that?
Yeah, I'm used to it. And he holds up his hands with the bandages.
Yeah. Oh. Well, wouldn't it be beneficial to find out where this is coming from?
I'm starting to remember a little bit more about myself. Nothing I can disclose at the moment, but it's coming through.
That's good. Now, if you need to talk to anyone about it, I know a little bit about, magics and otherworldly beings and such.
Might take you up on that offer then.
Wonderful. I would love another meal date.
He'll stand, nod his head to Zari. I'm gonna go check on the rest of the crew.
All right. Well, let me know if you need anything. I'll be here or in my bunk.
She gets a chuckle out of him.
You are intercepted, I think, along the way by either Hennies or Simon, letting you know that Captain wants you. Any other conversations amongst the five of you that need to happen right now?
I desperately want to talk to Zareen, but if it needs to wait, it can wait.
Okay. Yeah, let's we'll hold off on that. Because you have kept the captain waiting for a bit,
Yes.
and you don't
We'll
know how
talk
long
next
she'll
time.
wait for.
Yeah.
So the five of you head up above deck and to the captain's quarters. Samek, you probably are taking the lead on this because you're a member of the crew. Knock on the door and head inside. She's at her desk again, and stands up as you come in. She says, "All right, it took, well, I said it wasn't a rush, so I can't really complain about that. Everyone all right? You did a good service to the men and women on board here. I'm afraid we probably would have lost a lot more if you hadn't been around, so thank you."
It really was all Simon. I mean, everyone did a good job, but that thing you did, making it go away for a while, that was wonderful.
When it works, it is great. When it doesn't, stand there looking like a fool, like you shit your pants.
Well, you've kept us alive this far.
That is my job.
Right. Well, I've taken some time to think between the bugs attacking and everything else happening right now. I've taken some time to think over the information you gave me about the, what Ixtus relayed to you. I've I spent some time looking over the journal, seeing if I could find any clues about the archipelago and what we might find there. It's a big area, and I'm not really sure what we're looking for exactly. But one thing that might be able to there's a passage in the book itself, sort of a riddle. I didn't really bring any much stock in it, but now that I know where we're looking, maybe it might give some clues as to where we're supposed to be going. And she brings out a scrap of paper. I wrote it down just so we could have y'all could have a copy of it. And she slides it over to you. And I'll just go ahead and pop this in Roll20. The formatting probably isn't going to come through. Oh, that worked. So you read over the poem itself, which goes as follows for the chat. Over a field of bloodless bones, the lonely bird seeks shelter. She turns her back to smiling sun and soon begins to falter. Soaring low, her wings grow stiff. She tumbles into shadow. That should be wings, not wing. Within the dragon's open arms, she finds the promised meadow.
Well, I can tell you one thing. I won't be any help here because this is an intellectual thing. I do the smashy well, and so I'll let you all do this well.
Who is the brightest one here? Is it me?
God. Please don't let it be.
I can't
Xander
believe it is.
Is Xana just fooling all of you?
Mm-hmm.
What is your intelligence, fam?
12.
16.
Yeah.
There we go.
Also,
Thank God there's some reason in the world.
an artist.
What's it got to do with riddle solving?
It's a poem.
So, Captain says, I don't really know what it means any more than any of you. I'm hoping that maybe when we get there, look around, maybe get an idea of what this might connect to. Need to find, I guess, this field of bloodless bones first. Maybe. I don't know. I don't even know if this connects to where we're supposed to be going. I'm just taking a shot in the dark here.
Well, isn't the area that we're going to... I just said we aren't doing intellectual stuff, but I had the realization.
Do it.
The archipelago we're going to is, isn't it a shipwreck area?
There are a fair number of shipwrecks in the area. I'm not sure exactly what that referred to, but yeah, we could. There are a few treacherous routes through it, so we could.
Bloodless bones.
There.
Wouldn't the husks of the ships be like bloodless bones?
Perhaps.
The next line could be a direction, turning your back to the sun,
Going west.
depending
Right.
on the time of day.
Guess that we wouldn't be able to get the other two until we get there.
Yes.
Seems like you go down low and go into a cave or something.
Yes, a bird seeking shelter is important.
A wings for a step.
Hmm.
Wouldn't that be going down into the mist then?
You know what? It might be
Underground.
It might be good to have context. Could I read over the journal? I could keep it in your room. I honestly have nothing else to do in this bloody ship. And maybe I can put together some context.
Right. That might help, but as you might guess, especially with everything going on right now, and the potential that we have some spies on board that might have come in from Lord Silks, I'm not really keen of having many eyes on the journal itself. So, this is an exact replication of the riddle. So I can promise you, there's nothing else in it that might
what
help.
if? Wouldn't it be helpful if maybe you and I went? I'm the one who's, I'm not going to try and steal it from you. Just would like to see through it. If I could do it with you, perhaps.
All right. Sure, we can arrange something. You know what? I've got some other business I need to take care of right now,
Sure.
but I'll speak with you later when we have an opportunity.
Sorry, you haven't traveled anywhere. You don't know much about anywhere apart from home.
You see, brother.
So someone which has traveled is probably more suited for this role.
The difference between you and I, brother, is I pay attention
I
when I
don't
look
lie
at
to
them.
people?
I've not lied to you. What I'm saying is I pay attention when I study and you do not, obviously. So,
Captain,
Yes.
I think we'll take the copy of the poem and everything and think it over.
It's all yours.
thank you. Just call for me when I'm needed.
Fantastic. I'll let you know as soon as possible.
Thank you.
For right now, that's it. If you have any questions or anything else, we're going to be heading towards the archipelago. Hopefully, should be on the other outskirts of it by the end of the day. Just need to navigate the reefs here. Once we get into the open sky, we should be able to pick up some speed and get out of any immediate danger. Hopefully, we don't come into any more fog storms along the way. So,
Hopefully.
you're dismissed.
Thank you. I will snag Anais as we're walking out the door, though.
Okay.
Great, I guess I have the copy of the poem.
Yes.
Did we all get copies, or
Did we all?
was
There's
there
only
just
one.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have it. As the artist.
I'm right.
Yes?
Darling, I was wondering if you could show me. You see, I was wondering if you could speak on the bow. That's
Of
the front,
course.
right?
Yes, that is the front.
Right. Wonderful.
You're learning so much in just a few days.
I do pick up on things quickly.
It shows.
Thank you. And I would like us to be in a quiet, alone section of the ship.
Sure. The boys go off to do their things, and you two find a quiet section near the forecastle deck near the bow of the ship. There aren't too many other crew members around right now. Have a pretty even heading, so you have some privacy.
Oh. What is it?
Well, I have concerns, and not just about my bunk. In general, the accommodations are not what I'm used to. Anyways, I wish to trust you, Anais. You seem to be the most competent and intelligent of the crew.
I'm flattered. And I realize someone in your position is not easy to trust. Or easily trusting of others.
Yes. I believe that the captain is keeping something from all of us. In fact, I have been told she is. And I suppose as a gesture towards good faith between us, I will tell you that when I awoke this morning, I found soot on my clothing and blood on my hands. This is not something that must be, it's not shocking. It's not, I wasn't surprised, I should say. Draw your conclusions where you like, but I need to know what the captain is hiding. And I'm not sneaky. As someone who is more stealthy than I was wondering if I could have you take a look.
You want the journal?
The journal would be nice. However, I believe there is something else. Something that is masking who or what the captain is.
I suppose I could take a look. If it's concerning to you.
I would offer payment, of course.
Your friendship is enough.
I'm an insight checker.
Okay.
As the thief. You're.
Sure.
How's an 8? You don't have to tell me if you're lying or not. You can just say if I believe you or not.
Yeah. Do you want to whisper a roll to me real quick, Savannah? Either
Nope.
persuasion or... Okay.
Your friendship is enough.
Okay. You believe her.
Well, that is nice to hear. I don't get many friends. At least not ones that don't want something else.
Well, money comes with troubles, usually. But money's not my interest.
Is there something else I can offer you?
Just the promise that if I have any concerns, I can bring them to you, and they'll be treated with respect.
Of course.
Then I'll take a look.
Is there anything you need from me as far as a distraction, or I can perhaps walk her through the bunks and speak of my grievances? I can come up with quite a few.
If you would like me to take a look at her quarters, anything that will get her out of them will benefit the entire operation.
I will say, during this conversation, you have seen the captain come out of her cabin, lock the door behind her, and then is going around the deck, sort of like inspecting and speaking with the crew. So she's not in her cabin right now. She is on the main deck, though.
And I think sooner rather than later.
All right. Well then, it was good speaking with you, and I shall speak with you after.
Of course.
I'd like to do this before we end for the day. So, Zari, you go and get the captain.
Yes. She's just going to. I'm sorry. I know we've been on the ship for a little while, and it's given me time to acclimate to things. However, there are some things that I cannot stand by, and I know that they can be adjusted. So I'm wondering if you could help me.
She's like speaking to a crew and looks to the crew member she was talking with and looks back to you and says, I'm not really sure. Go ahead and make either deception or persuasion would work in this situation, but I just prefer deception.
26.
Dream team.
Can't even roll that high. I'm not even gonna roll.
I mean,
All right,
it's kind of the truth, but she is lying about that they need to be fixed right now.
All right then. Let's go ahead and get this done with. This is just
Thank you. I'll try and get it as quickly as possible. I know you're very busy.
right. And she heads below deck with you. And you use this moment to head over to the captain's quarters.
Yes.
The door. I'm not even going to have you roll to unlock the door lead into the cabin because it is not a complicated lock, like by any means.
But I took expertise in
purely
thieves' tools.
You're gonna have to roll in a second. Just give
Okay.
me a minute. Yeah, but this door is very simple. It's just mainly meant so the lock on it is just a mechanism that keeps it from swinging inward when the ship lists. So you pop that open like just subtly. Are you trying to sneak, like trying to make sure the crew doesn't see you go into the
Oh, yeah.
to the cabin? Okay, make a
They
stealth
are
check.
incredibly loyal to her, it seems.
Yeah, make a stealth check then.
22.
Okay. Dip into the cabin. You take a look around, same things before, bookshelves, desk on the far side of the room.
I want to go through her papers and stuff.
Okay. I mean, you
deeply concerned with any sort of traps or tripwires or...
make an investigation check. Or perception, whichever one is the...
Oh, investigation is so much better.
Okay, that's fine.
21.
Okay, you go through the room, shuffle through some papers, maps on the table in front of her desk, going through the bookshelves, looking through. I mean, it's mostly what you'd expect. There's some like light reading, like novels and stuff there, some romance novels, things like that, just like, you know, to pass the time. Also a lot of like there's some historical books, and then most of it is like ledgers, navigational tools, almanacs, things like that. You get to the desk, go through her papers on the desk, nothing really important there. Ledgers, inventory, accounting for the ship. You open up a couple of drawers, nothing there either, except for one drawer on the bottom right hand of the desk, which is locked. You inspect it. It doesn't seem to have any like traps or anything on it, as far as you can tell. But the lock is a little more like heavy duty. It's going to take a bit more finagling to get open. So you can try to pick it if you want.
Yeah, I'm going to try to pick it.
All right. Make a check with your thieves' tools.
27.
All right. Not an easy lock to open. You fiddle with it. Get the tumblers in place. And then there's a click. And you pull gently. And the drawer slides open. Inside, you open it up and you root around in there. And there's some more papers and stuff. Nothing that really catches your attention. As you're shifting through the papers with the investigation check you made before, you press up against the back of the drawer and it shifts slightly. You pull on that and it slides out, revealing inside a red leather-bound journal, the one you saw before on your first day on the ship, the one that she was holding when she gave her speech to the crew. And wrapped around it is an amulet. It has a center silver like clasp to it, and a like an opal gemstone embedded in the center. It looks like some arcane engravings around the outside.
Okay. Does it look like something that, like, if I... like... Does it look trap-like? I guess is what I'm asking. Does it look like something if I unwrap it, it's going to cause a ruckus? Or does it look more like a symbolic kind of... Oh, heck. Okay. 17?
Okay. This does not seem to be related to any trapping, as far as you know. You have a little bit of understanding of magic just from your thieving.
Mostly from it blowing me up, probably.
What you notice about this is it seems to relate to divination, but that's as far as you get. but it doesn't seem like it's going to go off by moving it. In fact, the book has already slid since you moved the back of the panel. It's probably meant to like ward the book.
Okay, then I'm going to trying to decide if I just want to take the whole thing. That's my instinct. I'm going to just like very gently, I want to like hold onto the amulet so it says pressed into the front of the book. And unwrap it and just like sort of gently open the book and try to like track what's inside it.
Okay. You begin to read through the book, and as you do, there's a sound like an explosion in the distance. And a few seconds after that, the entire ship begins to rock and quake as a burst of energy, some sort of force, slams into the side of the ship. Those of you on deck immediately turn. Those of you below deck come running up, and you all look out into the distance where you see a large galleon-sized airship descending towards the Pharos. A large cannon of some kind mounted on the top, which just fired this immense beam of energy that has just barely skimmed over the top of the Pharos, causing this shake to shudder through it. And as the ship lists and moves in towards you in an aggressive posture, you see embellished across the side of the vessel the name, the Tryphon. And at least Zari, if not Xander, you recognize the flag flying above it, one that you have seen flying above other houses within your city, the flag of the Silks family. So they just fired a warning shot across your bow. And Anais, as you skim through this book, or you catch those first few words of this book and look through it as this is happening, you realize what is happening. But you don't have time to tell anyone. And that's where we're going to pick up our session next week.
Fortnite.
So,
No, we're playing D&D.
our,
He said
2
Fortnite.
weeks.
I was making a joke.
yeah.
It's not next week.
Yeah. Next session. Okay, Barry.
Well, get it right, or
One
else I may
day-
rock up and be
Listen.
like, Barry
And that
wants
was a
to
good
join
Fortnite
Zoom,
joke.
and you're
Sorry, I
like,
missed
denied.
Listen, one day I'll commit to doing the sneaking and I'll do all these rolls and it'll matter.
Well, it'll matter. Just you're the only. I'll tell you what you read once we're off the air, and nobody else hears it.
Can't wait to
so-
use it to manipulate all of you. Except
Thank you.
Simon. Simon deserves better. Sorry. I just
Simon
want to
and Sam.
apologize.
He's the best of us.
I just want to apologize to everyone because I'm being a big jerk.
Samek seems to just be minding his own business. Simon's trying to help people. Xander's just like, that thing's evil. It seems like we kill it. My sister's fine. And then there's used to.
Dude, I can't wait till we get home and I'm like, Dad, he doesn't know. And his dad's just gonna be like, the fuck is wrong with you? Boom.
How do you not know? We had all those lessons.
Sounds
He's
like
in the
someone
process
needs.
of sacrificing
a
someone. How
new-
do you not know?
Sounds
We
like
keep
someone
human
needs a
heads
new
in the
fiance.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Ruh-roh.
Yeah.
It's
So
Simon.
thank you everyone out there for watching. As I was corrected before, we will be back in 2 weeks to pick this up and see how this continues. That'll be our 7th session of this, so we're getting to the real home stretch here. until then, we have a couple of streams coming on over the next week. Like I mentioned at the top here, I'll just run through them again. We have 2 one-shots going on this week. One on Wednesday, we're doing Dungeons and Destiny, which Morgan is going to be running at 6 o'clock Eastern time, right here. And then one on Monday, where Savannah is going to be running Carbon Banner, a mech fighting game, which is going to be at 7 o'clock Eastern time here as well, with the potential pre-stream with Savannah doing some session prep for that game. Otherwise, our schedule is as usual. We have AOS on Tuesday, Saturday nights on Saturday, as the name would imply, and on Sunday we will have the next session of Slang 101, same time, same place, 4 o'clock Eastern. I think that's it. Does anybody else have anything they want to throw out there before we conclude?
Why's it gotta be 2 weeks? Holy shit, guys.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh wait,
so
it's
we'll
because
see.
I
Let's-
run a game on Sundays.
Yeah, it's your fault.
Sorry, everyone.
It's the same sentiment we have every Sunday now is why every 2 weeks.
I would say as my announcement, I would say follow the rest of these fools on Twitter especially, and on Twitch, because there's a lot of other stuff going on that they're involved in that is really good, excellent content that you should be watching, especially now, because I know you have time to do it.
yeah. And
Watch those
LB and
streams.
RJ have their stream at 8, right? 8?
At 10 tonight.
10.
10 tonight. Okay, I'm
So at 10
lost.
Eastern, fucking
Yeah.
watch these monsters play more games,
Yeah.
because they're great.
I think that's it though. So I'll let everyone go. We will see everyone in 2 weeks. And until next time, good game and good night, Internet.
Good night, Internet.